Hello, I'm Brent Gardner, and this is the NRA-ILA Grassroots News Minute for Friday, March 20th. Here with today's first story is correspondent Krista Cupp.
Thanks, Brent. Over the past few weeks, the number of stories in the press regarding the escalating violence in Mexico has dramatically increased. Now, hardly a day goes by when another story describing the atrocities committed by violent drug cartels cannot be found in an American newspaper or on a cable news channel. Gun owners need to pay close attention to these stories because the opponents of our Second Amendment rights are starting to use this situation as a pretext to push their gun ban agenda here in the United States. New Attorney General Eric Holder is the first administration official to cite Mexican drug cartel killings as an excuse to reinstate the semi-auto ban. And now some in Congress have jumped on the bandwagon. Just this past week, 2 House subcommittees held hearings on the issue. The Border, Maritime, and Global Counterterrorism Subcommittee of the House Homeland Security Committee had a hearing entitled Border Violence, an examination of DHS strategies and resources, while the National Security and Foreign Affairs Subcommittee of the House Government Reform Committee held a hearing entitled Money, Guns, and Drugs, Are U.S. Inputs Fueling Violence on the U.S.-Mexico Border? At the latter hearing, leading anti-gun absolutist Tom Diaz, senior policy analyst at the Violence Policy Center, testified, calling for a litany of new gun laws, including the reinstatement of the 1994 assault weapons and magazine ban. Fortunately, Arizona State Senator Jonathan Payton also testified, but noted that new gun laws were not the answer. Payton correctly stated that securing our borders, increase local federal cooperation, and enforcing our existing gun laws is the right approach. NRA-ILA Executive Director Chris W. Cox also provided written testimony to the subcommittee that you can read on our website at www.nraila.org. But don't count on the gun ban crowd to get that message. They see an opportunity to use fear created by violence in Mexico to advance their domestic anti-gun agenda. Gun owners know that restricting our rights will not stop Mexican drug lords from arming themselves. More U.S. gun laws will not stop these mass murderers who are already armed with military hardware such as grenades, anti-tank missiles, and mortars, weapons that are certainly not generally available to American gun buyers. Just as they have so many times before, the gun ban crowd is blaming criminal violence, this time in a foreign country, on American gun owners. If we are to prevail and stop them from dismantling our rights, we have to be vigilant. NRA will continue to monitor these hearings and report to you on their content. And now, back to you, Brent.
Thanks, Krista. The National Park Service has announced its intention to ban traditional ammunition containing lead in all of its parks. The move would needlessly push hunters to use more costly bullets made of tungsten, copper, and steel. The restrictions, set to take effect by the end of 2010, were announced without regard to science and without soliciting feedback from sportsmen's groups. The NPS announcement demonstrates either a complete ignorance or a complete arrogance as to the effect that this policy will have on hunters, said NRA-ILA Executive Director Chris W. Cox. There is no science to support NPS's contention that the use of lead ammunition in hunting is causing environmental contamination, having a negative effect on wildlife, or posing a threat to the health of visitors or park staff. This policy and the lack of communication in advance with the sportsman's community is a deliberate attempt to reduce the number of people who will want to hunt in the 60 parks that are open to hunting. This plays directly into the hands of radical anti-hunting organizations like the Humane Society of the U.S., which is advocating that hunters be banned from using lead ammunition. NRA-ILA will continue to be a voice of opposition against this unnecessary action and is committed to protecting the rights of hunters to use the ammo that is best suited for their hunting needs and budget. For more information on these stories and up-to-date legislative alerts, please visit www.nraila.org.